what if you just did away with shin guards?
I don't think it would change a single thing. When have you ever heard of somebody getting a shin injury? When's the last time somebody got a shin injury?
It doesn't really change much, to be honest.
I don't think that changes.
Then why do they still like? What's the point of them? So just because it is something that if you force people to wear them, it's something else that can be sold.
I think it's just old school. I think it's just a rule that they haven't revisited yet. I think in the next 5 to 10 years they'll just get rid of it.
And
Because I mean,
then what would there be?
I don't think they'll ever get rid of it.
Would there be a sock requirement then? Do you still have to wear socks, or then no sock? Like,
I don't know. Nowadays, I mean, they're getting. It looks like they don't care very much because people are ripping holes into their socks now to the point where there's very little thread.
Do you guys understand why they do? Like, I don't understand why sock has
circulation. I think it's BS. I think it's BS. I think it's somebody.
Because it's less tight, so it's easier for the blood flow to get to you. Because they are tight, and it makes sense because if it's tight, the blood can't get there. I'll
tell you what.
It's basic science, but
it's like when they rip holes into the back of their boots now. Have you seen that in the ankle? They rip a hole into the boot. They carve like a rectangular where your ankle is.
I haven't seen that. Oh, for blisters?
For blisters, apparently. And then also the socks thing. And it looks ridiculous. Like, I'm okay with finding new ways for like sock technology to be improved, to have more circulation. But if you see some of these guys, they got like 6 holes on the back of their socks. It literally looks like it looks terrible. Yeah. They need to get rid of that.
Jack Grealish just recoasted back in the day. They just put it all the way down.
Yeah, I hate people who do that. I've tried to do that myself.
I can't do it personally.
It's so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I don't understand how people do it.
But if people can do it, that you won't be on your calf, so
doesn't matter. Yeah.
I think they should just get rid of the shin guard rule because it hasn't stopped any significant injuries at all. Nobody ever gets kicked in the shin and is injured because of it. And, I mean, nobody even trains with them anymore.
Maybe that's why we don't have shin injuries, because there are shin guards.
Have you seen the size of the shin guards on these guys? I don't think it really makes much of a difference.
No, it doesn't.
I hate shin guards. But
unless you get kicked like directly on the shin guard, and even then, it still probably stinks.
But if that's, I mean, I'm just saying, like, you also get kicked in the back of the calf.
And it hurts a lot.
We don't have calf guards.
No.
Put a whole armor.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's like, it's kind of weird because it's like almost if we wore like forearm protectors. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like a random spot. Like, I kind of get it, but it's so old school now that I think that it doesn't make... Like, back then, it made more sense because the shin guards covered your whole foot, your whole leg. Plus, you had the ankle protectors. So that makes more sense because you're... I think it was like to cover the whole leg to prevent it from injury. But nowadays, with how tiny they are, and if they're letting these tiny shin guards... If they're letting players get away with these tiny shin guards, you might as well...
So how about we bring them back? The ankle shin guard.
Yeah. There would be a revolution.
I still remember watching, I think Pirlo played with them. Like, if you watch Pirlo play, I was like, it looks like he has, and you can't tell, but I'm like, I'm pretty sure he has the ankle guard.
Some people still do.
Because as soon as they take their socks off, you see the shin guard just hanging off.
Well,
the ankle.
Do you remember because they had the ones, then they made the ones with the Velcro, remember? Because then you could Velcro out the top, and then you just had the ankle guard in there. So you didn't have to have the dangling shin guard. Now you have...
All right. So that was a terrible one, Joe, because
cardboard.
You did absolutely nothing with that take.